Hello, I'm Adam Remsen. Today I'll take you on a fascinating journey through the world of competitive crossword puzzling. It's a journey that'll take us from Memphis, Tennessee to Stamford, Connecticut by way of Manhattan. Come on. I began solving crossword puzzles when I was about 20 years old. 13 years later, I'd become skilled enough to solve the New York Times crossword every day. When a friend, who is a puzzle constructor by trade, told me about the National Crossword Puzzle Tournament held every February since 1978 in Stamford, Connecticut, I decided to give it a try. I had a friend in New York I'd been meaning to visit, and Stamford was close enough that I could stay with him and commute by train for the competition. The tournament began on Saturday. I left Memphis early Thursday morning. Despite some patches of ominous slow-mo, the flight went well. I called my wife from the bus as I headed into the city.
I am excited. We just came out from behind the wall and I'm filming Manhattan now. No, not really. The flight wasn't very crowded either. How's business? Yeah. Good.
I was eager to see my friend Mike. We were in a band together in the early 90s and had remained in touch, though we didn't see each other very often due to living so far apart. When I got to his apartment, I immediately began training madly for the contest.
What are you doing tomorrow?
Probably hit the Whitney or something like that. I'm probably just going to walk around this neighborhood a little bit. I'd like to go to Remsen Avenue and take a picture of myself in front of the street sign. But Remsen is my last name, and that was my family. They were some of the founders of the city way back in. They came here in 1642.
I'd rather be doing meaningless computer programming every day, getting older every day instead of looking for photos out there. You know, it's a better use of time. So I'm glad.
I'm in heavy training for the crossword tournament. We've been out at a bar called Rocky Sullivan's at 28th and Lexington doing pub quiz where we lost.
Did we lose?
The day before the tournament started, I had time to kill. I have no sense of direction, so I stepped out of Mike's apartment and immediately got lost in the big city. Not exactly sure where I am. Somewhere in New York. There's a zoo here. I'm trying to find the Whitney Museum. But I got off the train at the wrong stop. I decided to take some pictures. Having no sense of direction in a place like New York is interesting. It's all laid out pretty simply, so I'm never really lost, and yet I never have any firm sense of where I am either. I'm constantly surprised by seeing the Empire State Building from a new and unexpected angle. I considered going to see Ground Zero, but I decided I'd rather remember it the way I saw it last. I had to get up very early the next day.
Especially in crossword puzzles, just showing up is, half the battle.
Now, why have you made the move to competitive crossword puzzle? Is that like an ego thing?
Actually,
These people get into hobbies, they have fun, and the hobbies stop being fun once they start trying to make it competitive.
I've noticed that. Trying to get a job doing something you love, instead of loving your job, you end up hating your hobby. I've definitely had that happen.
What other competitive things have you ever done?
I used to do a lot of bare knuckle fighting.
Like standing up, like the old style? Like,
Exactly.
where you stand up straight?
We call it fisticuffs.
So next we're going to get good looking up and start knocking on doors and trying to get the shit back.
The weather that morning was terrible. Yeah, there's nothing I'd rather do at 8 o'clock in the morning than go trudging. It was 70 degrees when I left Memphis. Fortunately, I only have a couple of blocks to go. That second building back there is the Marriott where I'm headed. Almost there on, what is today, March 12th, 2005. It's very cold out here. Will Shorts, crossword editor for the New York Times, was the MC of the event. He seemed surprisingly normal. In fact, that was the case with nearly everyone I'd met. I hoped to meet wild-eyed zealots who could only speak in crossword clues, but these were lawyers, students, retirees, and computer programmers. Most of them knew they had no chance of winning and were here just to have fun. Okay, just finished the first puzzle. I think it took me about 4 minutes. I wasn't the last, but I certainly wasn't the first. We all have these yellow things for privacy. So, and after you finish, you sort of walk out and look around and socialize. I was extremely nervous during the first puzzle, heart pounding and hand shaking and so on. I think I'll do better on this one. This is going to be harder though. We had 15 minutes for the first one and 25 for this one. Everybody's kind of filing back in. It's starting soon. Many people come to the tournament every year. I saw lots of old friends catching up. Okay, not everyone was perfectly normal. Okay, we've finished for the day, and done 6 puzzles today, and then there's one more tomorrow morning. Well, these folks have just taken 6 crossword puzzles together, timed crosswords. I'm going to go get on the train and head back to New York, and we'll be back in the morning for some kind of award ceremony, and one final puzzle that we're all going to do. So, that's it. I really did plan to go to bed early that night. Somehow, with old friends around, that just never seems to happen, though. And the scores are announced. I placed 85th out of about 400 or 500, I believe. Certainly a respectable showing. On the second and final day, the top 3 finishers in each of 3 skill levels solve a puzzle up in front of the assembled multitude of about 500 people.
On your mark, get set, Susan, begin.
I realized quickly that there is nothing more boring than watching someone else solve a crossword puzzle. The 3 finalists in the top division came on. This promised to be interesting, with $4,000 at stake for the winner. As the 3 worked through the puzzle, suddenly there was drama. One of the finishers, a man named Al, had been the 3rd place finisher for the past 4 years. He was 4th the year before that, and 3rd the year before that. He was definitely a crowd favorite, and he was moving through the puzzle quickly. In fact, he finished the puzzle first. He laid down his pen and took off his earphones, signifying that he was finished. And only then did he realize he'd forgotten to fill in 2 squares way back at the top of the puzzle. Under the scoring rules, this would destroy his chances of winning.
All right, here are the results. In 3rd place, finishing first but having 2 blank letters, is Al Sanders. And our new champion, perfect in 10 minutes and 27 seconds, the youngest champion in the history of the event, is Kyle Evans.
The national champion is 20 years old. I had a great time at the tournament. I don't think I'll go again, though. Next year I would have something to live up to, and I'd still rather solve puzzles with no clock and no pressure. I placed 81st at the tournament. I was 9th among first-time competitors, and 4th among the Southerners who were there. I got a nice little trophy and some great memories. The train back to New York takes about 45 minutes. On the way, I needed to do something to pass the time.